Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech number 137, giving you my initial thoughts on Cons of Tarkir Limited after playing in two pre-releases this weekend. I had a blast. There are a bunch of cool promos, and I want to talk about the promos first. They put a giant number of promos into this set. Promos are basically the normal foils with a promo stamp on them. I'm curious what this is going to do to the value of those particular cards. If you want one of these promos, they're actually pretty rare to get at this point. Each store probably got about two of each promo, and I've been looking for two or three of these, and I have not been able to find them yet. I think that these could be the premier cards, given the huge number of promos that they did and how difficult it's going to be to find the constructed playable ones. This promo system is fundamentally different than what they've been doing in the past. It's almost like you got a random rare as your promo, and your promo is playable. As much as I really liked the old unplayable promos that were mythic, such as Emrakul, I like this system better because your promo is playable. It's fun to have a really cool card that you can also play in your deck. I also like that they've mixed this up so much that you have no idea what your promo is going to be going in. I mean, you've got a 1 in 6 or 7 chance for a particular clan, but you don't have individuals choosing clans just because of one promo. There's been a lot of discussion online over whether or not the clans were balanced. Everybody told me Asban was significantly better than everything else, and I did not play Asban, and I crushed some Asban players. Each of the different clans are different. They have different ways you need to build them, but I don't think any of the clans were actually overpowered. The set is difficult to build for some of the clans, which makes it a little bit rougher on newer players, but Sultai and Jeskai both were very, very strong for me, and I did not see other people's constructed decks out of Asban or Timur that were just significantly better on average. I think they did a good job balancing the clans. I went 3-1 with this Jeskai deck. Super happy with it. This is the better of the two decks that I played. Super aggressive deck. My one loss was in a situation where I screwed up on a combat trick, and it was my own fault. One thing to notice about this deck is the curve is really low on this deck. Lots of people were trying to play larger cards thinking this was going to be a slow format, and most of my games ended in about 15 minutes or less for the entire match. You can build an aggro deck, especially if white is one of the colors supporting it. The other deck that I played was this deck, which went 4-0. One minor change right before I started, which was to pull the enchantment there for warriors out and put in another murderous cut. I didn't have enough warriors to really support it. Lots of removal. Black is the best removal in this set. Murderous Cut and Throttle were incredible cards for me. Once again, the curve is pretty low. Once again, the curve here is rather low. Stay low, play aggro. Outlast is what a lot of other people have been talking about as one of the premier things in the set. You can beat Outlast with solid removal and a quick deck. If they need to take 2 or 3 turns to put in resources into an Outlast creature, you're often able to just attack, do some damage, and then find a way to finish the game. All of these decks are being put up on my Instagram, Sartorus. That's a great way to follow both my trades and deck techs, things that I'm doing out in the community also. It's not just Magic, so there is some other stuff on there, but it's mostly Magic at this point. Now, it's very easy to find MVPs like Icy Blast and Siege Rhino, which are just overwhelming powerhouses. The life swing on Siege Rhino is very good. Trample matters a lot given the number of chump blockers you have in this set, and Icy Blast can take a stalled board state and let one side blow out the other side. The Siege Rhino also has a lot of buzz right now over whether or not it's constructed playable. I would like to hear your opinion. Is this the next Thrag Tusk? Is the life gain, life loss ETB that good, or is he just inflated because of pre-release limited hype? That this is a great limited card, but it really doesn't cut it when it comes to standard. I'm going to go through each of the different colors here and give you what I think are the best commons, uncommons, just 3 each. I'm not a giant limited player. I would definitely check out limited resources if you want a complete breakdown of all the cards, but these are the cards that I saw doing a lot of work at the pre-release. Arc Lightning, just incredible. There are lots of 2 and 1 toughness creatures. You're often 2 for 1ing with this. Bring Low is extremely good. Yes, it's forecasting cost, but it's often doing 5 damage and it's instant. Arrow Storm is a finisher for your aggro decks. Attack, lose some creatures, maybe get 1 or 2 through, and then 5 damage that can't be prevented. Very, very, very strong. In blue, Mystics of the Hidden Way won me several games. I was playing that aggro Jeskai deck, and this is a finisher. The Jeskai Wind Scout is also extremely good. 2-1 flyer with prowess makes your combat tricks better. Flying is very valuable in this set. Treasure Cruise also helped me in 2 games. I think it's a great late game card. You can cast it a little bit earlier also if you've got a very fast deck in which you need a way to refill your hand. I would definitely draft this as a common pretty early. In black, Murderous Cut is just a house. I look forward to getting some foils specifically to try them in Legacy. Debilitating Injury was extremely good also. There are a lot of creatures with 2 toughness, or maybe you're attacking, you lose a creature because you need the raid trigger, but then you've got this follow-up to kill their larger creature. Throttle is also really nice. I was definitely able to kill some morphed creatures that I knew were giant creatures with it, waiting for my opponent to tap out. In white, I like Seeker of the Way a lot. A bear that gets bigger and gives you lifelink is just perfect for combat tricks. Feat of Resistance is a really nice instant to play on top of this bear, and I really like the 2/3 body that Mardu Horde Chief has, and that it comes in with a 1/1 is even better. Look to white to play an aggressive deck. There are lots of good combat tricks, there's prowess, and there's lifelink so that you can swing the battle your direction. In green, the Hooting Mandrills were just incredible. Super happy with the card. Sagas Archer was also really good. 5 toughness and the ability to block flyers can really shut down a board. And then Savage Punch is one of the most flavorful, fun cards out there right now. This can be a blowout on either side. Be careful when you cast it. Wait for your opponent to tap out. Don't get 2 for 1 with this card. Use the card wisely. The biggest piece of advice that I have, though, I'm stealing from Limited Resources, a great podcast that's doing a Patreon campaign right now. Follow your land. This set, it doesn't matter how many cool bombs you have. If you can't cast them, you'll get blown out. Look at your land base, build around your land base, play the playables in the colors that you can support the mana. Don't look at the banners. The banners are junk. They are rubbish. They're too slow, and you often can't sacrifice them because you don't have the right colors out to sacrifice them. Your land, though, your basic, your uncommon, and your rare land should be determining your colors. There are some wonderful bombs at the common and uncommon level that if you don't have the right colors to play them, you shouldn't even bother putting them into your deck. I also had a great time playing Hooded Hydra. I got it in my second draft deck. The ability to throw out snakes in response to a board wipe or the destruction of this creature is just too much fun. I don't think it's constructed playable. I'm super happy I got to play it in Limited. I even got a Rite of the Serpent that was sideboard for me. I threw it in one game, and I had an extra way to get those really cool snakes out there. Thanks, this has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech. Thank you to everybody who currently supports the channel on Patreon.